Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Today, I'm going to talk about illegal immigration, okay, and why it's bad for the average American. Now, before I get into the why it's bad, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my background and how I know the information that I know. I've been doing accounting for about 25 years, okay. Now, and I worked many years of that in public accounting. Now, when you do public accounting, what that means is that you typically work for a firm, and different businesses hire that accounting firm to go in and do the accounting, do the tax returns, maybe do a financial audit if that's the case. Most of the companies that I worked for, that I did accounting for, while in public accounting, were smaller companies. Okay, companies typically making grossing less than $30 million a year, which is a very small number. I mean that doesn't even qualify as small business. That qualifies as well below small business. That's not mom and pop. It's not like a small deli or anything. But a $30 million company would be a typical small construction company, let's say, or a typical import exporter. Your typical your typical chain might do something like that. A food chain. So that's my background. I've done accounting, and as an accountant, I've had the benefit of jumping around to a lot of different businesses, okay, and basically getting into that business and seeing how they operate. Sometimes I'll be with a particular business for a couple of weeks at a time. I will typically, while I'm there, I will mingle with the employees, with the owners, with the customers. Sometimes, they'll, in many cases, they have a common, break room or eating room. So I really get to see the companies from top to bottom. Okay, and I've been doing this for about 25 years. So, having been around to a lot of different companies, and over 25 years, I'd say I've probably been in and out of some 500 companies. Okay, the average person during their lifetime, you might have maybe you might change 10 jobs, so you get to maybe 20 jobs. So you get to see how 20 different companies operate. And usually when you're doing that, you're only seeing one very small part of the company. Okay, by contrast, when I go into a company, I see it from top to bottom. Okay, I see how much money they're making. I see what their expenses are. Okay, I'm able, a lot of times because I'm in a company for so long, I'm kind of able to piece things together that maybe aren't in the books. So I just by, for example, if they got a payroll that says they got 20 people and I see 50 people there, I know that people are being paid off the books. Okay, I mean that's obvious. You're not gonna see that. If you're an IRS agent, for example, you're never going to see that because on the days that you're there, those people are not there, okay? So when I go into a company, I'm going in as a good guy. I'm not going in as a hostile investigator. So they're not going to try and hide stuff from me, okay? And likewise, I'm not looking to rat them out. I'm looking to go do my job, take my money, So what have I seen over 25 years, okay? What I have seen over 25 years is that, if you flood the market with cheap labor, okay, any normal person, any normal business person is going to take advantage of that, okay. So in all businesses, particularly a lot of businesses that are driven by manual labor, construction companies, laundry companies, these type of businesses, if you have a warehouse type of company. All these businesses are going to hire the cheapest labor that they can hire. Okay, now, if you are a U.S. citizen, okay, they know, and they know that because when you're going to apply, you fill that out in your application. They know that they cannot pay you less than minimum wage because you're a U.S. citizen, and if they try to do that, there's a good chance that you'll get complained about. Okay, if you're here illegally, you have no rights, okay? Which means that they can offer you a lot less money. And first of all, you probably don't even speak the language. And secondly, if you did go and you complain, well, you're not supposed to be here working legally anyway. So there's a good chance that person will get in trouble. So the bottom line is that lots and lots of companies hire illegal immigrants, and they hire them well below minimum wage. And the more of them you flood into the market, the more and more they're going to take up the labor. Okay, so what that means is that the Americans that are here, right, the citizens, what's happening with them is that they're being priced out of the market, of the labor market. So, when you go and you apply, let's say, to a warehouse, okay, and on your application you put that you're a U.S. citizen, all right, if you speak very good English, they know that that if they hire you, they gotta pay more money. Whereas the other guy over there who doesn't speak any English, if they hire that person, they can pay $3-4 an hour. Okay. Now the way these illegal immigrants typically live, right? They live in these sanctuary cities. Okay. When they rent out apartments, okay, they typically live 10 to 20 in an apartment. So even though they're making less money because there's so many of them living together, their living costs are a lot less than yours. Okay, so they are able to accept $3 an hour and live on that. Okay, likewise when they go shopping, they're able to buy in bulk. And cook in bulk, right? They make these huge pots that they eat in, right? And I know because I've seen them. I won't tell you how, but I have seen them. So they make these huge pots and they eat for a week, okay? So their living costs are a lot less than yours, okay? Likewise, the landlords, right? Landlords that typically rent out to illegals, they know what they're doing, okay? They know who the illegals are. They know that when they bring, typically you'll have one or two of them go and they'll go together and they'll try to rent an apartment. Okay, landlords who are in the business of in this business, right, know who they're renting to, and they know that two illegals means that there's probably another 20 coming in with them, and they factor that into the rent price. Okay, so they are going to typically rent 4 times what they would rent to somebody who's obviously not illegal. So what that means is it also pushes up the price of rentals. Okay, now typically if you're a landlord that's in the business of doing this, what's going to happen is you're not going to mix citizens with illegals that live 20 to an apartment in the same building. Okay, so if you're in the business of doing that, then you typically have a full building full of illegals living 20 to an apartment. Versus a landlord that's not interested in that, that's typically going to avoid that. Okay, and if you're a landlord and if you don't want to deal with 20 illegals in your apartment, through the interview process, immediately, what people you're going to avoid. I mean, that's just an experience thing. Okay, yeah, but what this does is it does drive up the price of rentals. Okay, simply by removing a certain amount of real estate, making it inaccessible, to citizens, okay, that leaves less real estate available to the citizens, to the legal citizens to rent. So basically their prices go up as well. Okay, so that's how reality works. Okay, that's how that is the effect that all the illegal immigrants are having into this country. They're coming in. Their presence is pushing down, wages. Okay, it's making certain jobs inaccessible to citizens because certain jobs are like, okay, we're going to hire illegals for these particular positions. Okay, and they're typically going to avoid mixing legals and illegals, just because the two usually don't mix very well together. So a lot of employers are basically saying, okay, this warehouse here at this location, we're going to pack it full of illegals. Maybe we'll put 1 or 2 legals at the front desk, in the office areas, but two really, they really don't work together, or they're two totally different pay rates. You're not going to have, in the same warehouse area, you're not going to have legals and illegals working together because, that usually just doesn't work out so well. But anyway, that's the inside scoop, okay? That is why flooding the country with illegals is bad for the citizens here, okay? It has downward pressure on prices, all right, on wages rather, have downward pressure on wages, um, and the fact that it's below minimum wage does not mean anything. Ultimately, the free market always decides what is the right wage, and that's what's going to be paid. Okay, so that's how that's going to balance out. And the same thing goes with the rentals, for apartments. You have all these illegals. They're living together. They're pushing up rental prices in that segment of the market. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.